Hello Year 4. So we're on chapter 21 and at the end of chapter 20 Varjak went to sleep, and we all know what happens when Varjak goes to sleep. He has a dream. Chapter 21. Down in the sewers, Varjak dreamed. He dreamed he was back in Mesopotamia. He dreamed he was in the ruined temple by the clear blue pool that was the river's source. The whisker-thin window glowed with sunlight. The chamber smelled of mint. Jalal sat beside him, looking into the pool. "Think of a question," said Jalal. "Hold it in your mind. Keep looking at this pool long enough, and you will see the truth." Varjak didn't want to. What if the pool showed Jalal that he'd lost his powers? What would his ancestors think of that? All Jalal's teaching, his training, it had all been for nothing. But Jalal kept looking at the pool, so Varjak did too. He thought about Sally Bones. Was he really safe from her at last? At first he could only see himself reflected back in the mirror-clear pool, but then the water seemed to flicker. It seemed to blur at the edges and grow thin, and just below its surface Varjak saw an image taking shape, coming closer. He saw a mountain, the white peak of a mountain, a narrow rock ledge on that snow-capped peak. He recognised it now. It was the very mountain they were standing inside. He was looking at a peak he hadn't yet climbed. He smiled. This was surely a good sign. Maybe it meant he was going to get his power back, and everything would be okay after all. And then his blood froze, because standing on top of the mountain peak was a thin white cat with an ice blue eye. Sally Bones. Varjak gasped and pulled away from the pool. "She's here," he cried. "She's on top of the mountain." "Who?" "Sally Bones. Can't you see her?" Jalal looked into the pool. "We each see what is most important to us," he said. "I see my old enemy. Did I ever tell you about her? Salaya of the North. She was the perfect warrior. None could beat her. Many tried, but no one could lay a paw on her. It seemed she might live forever. She gave me my greatest battle." Varjak's pulse sped up. He remembered long ago his grandfather once mentioned Jalal's greatest battle, but Varjak had never heard the tale. Of course, Jalal would have won that battle. Jalal always won. But Varjak was no Jalal, and now he'd seen a vision of Sally Bones in Mesopotamia. Even in his dreams, there was no escape. "What do I do, Jalal?" he said. "How do I beat my enemy?" "Sometimes, my son, you cannot beat your enemy." Varjak flinched at the words. He was certain now. Jalal knew he'd lost to Sally Bones. Once again he felt the shame of defeat stinging him. "It depends where you fight, and when, and how," Jalal went on. "It depends on your strengths and your enemy's weaknesses." "Weaknesses?" said Varjak. "How can you know someone's weaknesses?" "Like anything else, you see them. Face your enemy and see them truly, without fear, without hate. Only then can you know them." Face Sally Bones again. Varjak turned away from the pool, shaking his head. "Thanks for nothing, Jalal," he thought. "Sometimes I wish I'd never come to Mesopotamia." The light in the chamber started to fail. The window in the wall grew dimmer and dimmer, until once again Varjak Poor stood in the darkness. So, is he going to see her again? What's going to happen in chapter 2? Let's find out tomorrow. Hope you're all okay. Bye bye.